Hi, it's Mike Ferry, and welcome to Business Planning 25 Part 2. If you had a chance to review Part 1, we talked about 4 words: mindset, numbers, activities, and accountability. And what we're going to look at now is something that really is important to each of us in terms of how much earnings, money we want to have, and how much we're willing to spend time and energy to make that happen, which is the motivation we have individually to become more successful. So if you've been with me in the past, you've heard me say the following: the amount of money we earn is in direct correlation to the quality of service we give other people. The higher the quality of service, the more money we get paid in return for that service. Higher quality products and service always can get more money for that quality of product and service than a lesser quality product or service. So we want to think of ourselves as being high quality professional salespeople. Part of that works around the numbers, part of that works around the activities, part of that works around the skill set, which we'll talk about in Part 3. But a big part of that really revolves around the fact that we understand what our motivation is to do what it takes to become more successful. So many years ago, working with a group of agents, I put together what I call the money game. It's a simple exercise. I'm going to ask you to complete this little money exercise, play the game with me for the next 10-15 minutes, and it will tell us very quickly the level of motivation you have as to what you want to accomplish or why you want to do more business than you've done in the past. So I'm going to ask you to take your pen and paper and write down letter A, and I'm going to ask you to estimate, and it's just an estimate, what is your total cost of living per month for yourself and your family? Now, if you're a single man or woman selling real estate, your total cost of living could be a little bit less than if you have a spouse and a few kids in high school or college or whatever the circumstances may be. But everybody has a cost of living per month, and a lot of that cost of living per month is fixed cost. House payment, car payment, insurance payment, buying food for the family. Those are fixed costs. Approximately how much does it cost you per month to live? So I wrote down an example, because I'll give you an example as we go through. I wrote the example is, it cost me $10,000 per month to live my life comfortably and to pay my bills, pay my taxes, and supply the needs for myself and my family. All right, letter B. How much outside of your income as a professional realtor income do you have per month? Do you have a spouse that has a job, has an opportunity to earn income? Do you have maybe a couple of rental properties that are paying you a small amount of money per month each? Maybe you are fortunate to have a trust account that is paying you something from your spouse's family or your family in the past. But you probably have some type of outside income per month. So letter A, my cost of living is $10,000. My outside income per month is approximately $4,000 per month. Letter C, I'd like you to write down, please, the difference between A and B, plus or minus. All right, cost me $10,000 a month to live. I have $4,000 a month in outside income. I have a minus $6,000 a month, or in essence, I need to earn a minimum of $6,000 a month for the family, for myself to live comfortably, pay my bills, keep my life in order. So the first 3 numbers, I'm guessing, are going to be a bit of an estimate, and that's okay. But after you've estimated, then spend a little time after we've done this together and figure out the exact numbers because of letter D. Letter D is probably the simplest one I'm going to ask you to write down. My average commission check from my company to me is. So let's take an example. My average commission check is $12,000 per transaction, and that's using 2024 year-to-date numbers. All right, look at letter E. Based on my average commission check of $12,000, my need to create $6,000 a month in income to break even, how many deals would I have to do per month to break even? Well, interestingly enough, the answer is 1/2 of one deal per month, or basically 6 per year, and you break even. Why is the per person productivity of our industry so low compared to other sales industries? Because the average commission check is so large. So therefore, this person, in this example, $10,000 a month in expense, $4,000 a month in outside income, a negative balance of $6,000 a month, average commission of $12,000 per transaction, technically only has to do 6 deals a year, one every other month. Now think about it for just a minute. If the motivation is only to break even in life, in this case you only have to do 6 transactions a year, one every 60 days. For me, talking to an agent that says, my goal is to do 6 transactions a year, my first thought is, what is your motivation? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? How are you trying to improve the quality of your life for yourself and your family? So let's go to letter F, which we've already answered. How many deals do I have to do per year to break even? And we use the example again of 6. 6 transactions. But yet I speak to companies every day that have 500, 200, 700, 52, 485 people in their company, and I ask the broker, how many transactions will you close in 2024? They give me the number. I divide it quickly by the number of agents, and it comes out 2.5 transactions per person for the year. Folks, think about it. That is a complete lack of motivation. Motivation, motive to action. Think about the word motivation. Write it down, M-O-T. Motive to action. If there is no motive, there's no action. Motive is the goal we've set to improve the quality of our life. We'll talk about it more in just a minute. The action steps are the business plan that we have set for ourselves to move our business forward. So then I go to letter G. How many transactions have you done so far closed this year? And what's fun is I'll be talking to an agent and say, what's your plan for 2024? I want to do 22 deals. How many have you done this year, year to date? 4. Is it realistic to go from 4 to 22 in a year? Probably not. But if you said, I'm going to go from 4 to 12 to 14, that is doable, 1 a month. So how many transactions have you closed? And then we go to letter H. Now this is where the business planning becomes either fun or scary, and only you can determine the answer to the question. How many additional commission checks would you like to earn in 2025 above what you earned in 2024? How many additional commission checks would you like to earn? So let's say that you say to me, I want to earn 10 more. Well, 10 more checks at $12,000 each. It's $120,000 additional income. Depending on where you live, you pay your state and federal tax. You have some business expenses, you're going to have substantially more money. So let's say that you're doing 15 deals a year. You've been involved in Mike Ferry coaching, Mike Ferry seminars during 2024. Smart decision, by the way. Do it again in 2025. And you've learned that you can improve by 10 transactions. So then we go to the tough part on motivation. What specifically would you do with the extra $120,000 in income? Be specific. Be specific. Well, my wife and I have always wanted to take the family on a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. Good for you. When do you want to do it? Let's set the dates now in your business plan. Or you say, my wife says if we can make the additional money, let's remodel the entire kitchen and make it updated and modern. Great, let's do it. Maybe you say to yourself, I want to get my spouse a new car. She's wanted a new car for a couple of years. We have the money to do it. I'm going to buy her a new car with that additional money. Great, let's do it. Motive to action. Motive, a trip to Hawaii. Motive, maybe remodeling the kitchen. Motive, getting a new car. Action, the steps in the plan to get to that number. But then the last question that I wrote down, what specifically do you have to do differently to achieve these transactions and income? Can't do what you've always done and expect the results to change. If you're not willing to get outside of your comfort zone, nothing's going to happen of substance. So I mentioned to a couple of groups a couple of weeks ago when I was doing this in the terms of a 3-hour seminar live, I said, we are coming up on something kind of fun. In January, February, and March, we as a company are going to be experiencing something that very few people have the good fortune or luck to experience. We're going to be celebrating our 50th year doing real estate training, seminars, etc. 50 years in business. Numbers, the number 40. I've been doing action workshops, superstar retreats, and management retreats for 40 years. 35. I've been doing production retreats and productivity schools for 35 years. 35 again. We've been doing coaching now for over 35 years. We're committed 100% to helping you identify the motivation, to identify how the plan works, to get the plan into effect. Our job can only go so far. The rest of it is the desire you have to achieve. So let's think carefully in the months of November and December about what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, and then we'll look most importantly in a minute at part 3, which is completing a very simple, straightforward business plan. Watch this video 2 or 3 times. Go back and watch part A 2 or 3 times, and I'll look forward to seeing you in a few minutes on part C.